Happy to have you on the show. First time here.
Well, happy to be here today, Scott, to talk about Light the World and where we are in terms of our progression in bringing lighting to some of the people in the world who live without electricity today.
My first question is, where did the idea for Light the World come from?
Before I retired from General Electric, I was fortunate enough to travel around the world and be in a lot of countries where people don't have electricity. And in my role at GE, I had the opportunity to look at all the different technologies around power generation, transmission, and distribution. And in addition, I had the ability, as part of my job, to watch all of the developing technologies that were in the process of reaching economic viability. And from all those three views, sort of understanding how the utilities in the developing world work, how we deliver electricity today, and how technology was evolving, I sort of concluded that there was a lot better, faster, cheaper, greener way to bring electricity to people in the world who live by firelight today. And so to put that into action, to bring that different view into being, I founded Light the World in April.
So there's a picture on the website of a menu. What's the story behind that?
When I retired from GE, it's very common to think that you can take a year off, take it easy, play a lot of golf, travel, be with your family, and then decide what to do next. But it was pretty clear. We went out to dinner at Keystone at this Alpenglow Stube. It's a restaurant up on top of the mountain. And as we were speaking about this as a family, it became pretty clear that your ability to have contacts around the world that could actually help you do something like Light the World have a limited life because people change jobs. So it was clear that we couldn't wait. And so this endeavor, this undertaking, affects the entire family. And so it wasn't something that I wanted to do without really having the buy-in of all the members of the family, because we're putting a lot of time in, we're putting resources in. And so after that discussion that evening at the restaurant, we decided to proceed, and we signed the menu as the sort of the commitment from the family to each other to put forth the effort and the money and the resources to begin Light the World. And so that's how it all started, really.
You are the founder, and then on the board there's Elliot and Ken. How do you know each other, and what do these two, Ken and Elliot, bring to the table?
Yeah, that's a great question, actually. Companies need high-quality people who understand what you're trying to do and can help you do it. And for the board, I asked Ken and Elliot both, who I have known for quite a number of years, because we worked together at General Electric, and they are experts in the microgrid area of the world. Ken on the engineering side, he's really a smart grid, smart transmission, microgrid expert from a technology view. Elliot, from a control and protection side, from a commercial deployment side, is really an expert on micro and mini grids. So they're really the perfect people to have on the board because of their expertise, right? Because what we're trying to do in Light the World is change how utilities build the grid, from going from the old way, building a big power plant, building transmission, distribution, and finally connecting the customer, to a new way, where it's to build a microgrid at the customer, connect the customers into a mini grid, and eventually build back to the utility's AC grid. So actually there weren't two better people, I think, in the world that had the combination of experiences that could help us bring this idea to fruition and get it going.
So when you were growing up, Did you have a hero or someone you looked up to, and has that changed now that you're a bit older and wiser?
Yeah. So I wouldn't say that I had a hero when I was growing up, but I would say that there were absolutely people who I admired a great deal. And those people were individuals who created industries and created new markets and created new products. Okay, now, people like Thomas Edison sort of start the electric light bulb, and he created a whole electrical industry with others, but him. Steve Jobs, right, created Apple, invented a new genre around computers. So I've always sort of admired those people, the people who are creative enough to create whole new industries, provide people with jobs they didn't have before, really people who went out there and changed the world. At that time, I didn't have a good enough appreciation, actually, for the people in the world who were great organizers. Okay, I gave a lot more credit to the people who were creators, and less credit, in my mind, to the people who were able to motivate the masses and organize companies. And so, early in my career, I would never have thought, for instance, that Jack Welch was a phenomenal person to look up to because he was just running a big company. But today, I have a totally different view. Now I recognize that people who have these organizational and communications and leadership skills, who don't create new industries but take organizations to new heights, they're phenomenal people and people that you should look up to and I admire.